that hurt. That hurt.
I was like,
that hurt.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about, the blown plays before and this and that. I'm like, if you go back and look at the whole game, there's a lot of missed calls on both sides. Yeah. Always, right? Yeah. Springs got hit in the head a couple times. Like, if you go back.
And then they had, 2 plays where the clock was just on 0 and it was called.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was like...
We had those and they had those.
Well, yeah, just to go to your point, it was all...
It was all around. It was just all fucked up. Like, it was just I don't know if they got disoriented by all the noise, but 110 decibels is pretty loud, bro. But that's no, they knocked some of the ceiling out on that interception, dude. Like no cap. They knocked some of the it's crumbles of the ceiling on the ground.
There's no way that they can honestly say that things weren't controlled by Vegas in the end.
Oh yeah, they gave money back on bets, man.
Yeah,
winning. In the history of sports,
I've never ever heard of that. Like,
even Conseco, and when they were saying they were rigging games and all that other stuff for baseball, nobody ever said, "Let me get his money back, dude."
They just went after him.
Yes. But that speaks volumes. That speaks a lot of volume that these people actually say, you know what, we can't bet this. We can't even honor this bet, right?
Yeah.
So what threw me off the most is I didn't even catch it because I was so sick to the stomach at the time. And regardless of the fact, and everybody like, no, y'all get to go to overtime, or y'all, defense and hold it. Like that to me, it didn't make up for any of that stuff. And it didn't make up for any of that stuff because if you think about that, that's 1st and 10, that's 3 knees, that the game's over with. Field goal from the 10, who can't do that? Like, I mean, we've seen the fluke before, but that's a 90-something%. I would give that a 90-something% ratio, man. He probably even higher than that because Will Lux only missed 2 kicks this whole season, man.
Wow.
At one point he had went like 29 straight. So
no, I mean like
it's just
that hurt me.
I feel
I'm not a Saints fan. I'm not a Saints fan,
man.
But that hurt. Like I wanted to see the 2 legends go at it. I wanted to see Breeze and Brady. I wanted to see Breeze and Brady.
So you wanted to see Breeze and Brady is what you were looking for.
Yeah, I want to see a Super Bowl with Breeze and Brady probably score 48 to 51
because they're
like I want to see a shootout.
I don't think Brady should have been there, but they're there, man.
Yeah, but see, that play
every single time. I gotta give it up.
Dude was offside though, so the Chiefs could have won, but dude was offside. I mean, you say that people, I didn't watch that game because I went to bed. Like I was that sick, bro. Like I was just like, man, you know what? Screw this, and I went to sleep. Everybody tagged me.
No, that's why
your boy was kidding you.
Oh yeah,
no, that's what happened, man. That's karma. But
your boy was getting you all night.
I didn't hit nobody.
For the I didn't tear you up that bad for the Pittsburgh game.
I mean,
they didn't make the playoffs though. So but that game, I gave a big ups on. Yeah, because if y'all had won that game against us, that y'all lost on the on y'all side of the field. Like but
that team imploded though.
No, it wasn't. It just started.
It should not be rewarded for this year.
Yeah, it just started off really bad. Yeah, it just started off really bad. You know what ticked me about that whole thing? Like I was in bed last night and like actually being able to look at these refs again. Yeah. And Michael Thomas posted it on his page. The black ref had his hand on the flag.
What's it?
Yes. And he said no.
They gave him his signal.
And ran up on him. He said no. That's what made the bets because so he said he thought the ball was tipped, right? Because he kind of did like a motion like this.
Yeah.
But you can throw the flag and take it back.
Let the man throw the flag. Do the review.
Okay.
Because if his explanation that the ball was tipped to Sean Payton and there was 12 more seconds on that clock above 2 minutes.
Okay.
That's another play.
We also could.
Or was it 4th down?
No, that was. But what I'm saying is we could have threw a flag then because if he's saying the reason is because the ball was tipped and he thought the ball was tipped is the reason why it's not a PI. He knew it was a PI. Then you need to go upstairs and you need to take a look at that. And that shit should have came back from New York. They should have called down.
But do you review defensive penalties though?
No. If he's saying
you can only review like ball plays.
If he's saying the ball was tipped, because if it was pass interference and the ball was tipped,
that dude was cleaned.
Yeah. Yeah,
like if anything, there was a penalty just for the fact that it was a throwback hit. Like what was that?
Even he was like, yeah,
he hit the ground. Like he was like, I hit. Like he thought he messed up.
He was like, I hit him. Then I heard the crowd. Yeah. Then I was waiting on the flag, and the flag never came.
Yeah, he was disappointed. You saw him get mad at himself for doing it, but that's what I'm saying.
No, man, like
what could they have challenged?
That was one of those things where you gotta go, man.
You can't review it. You can't review that, right? Like, I mean, technically, right now, will the rules allow you to review that?
No, not that. But if he threw the flag and the coach was saying, if he was saying that the ball, or the referee saying the ball was tipped, then they could review, because on the tip ball you could hit like that.
Yeah.
That's why Michael Thomas went on the interception when Michael Thomas got pushed, because he pushed Michael Thomas, he pushed off on Michael Thomas, and then when he got that interception, the reason we grabbed him or something, and then went to get the interception, the reason he was able to do that because the ball got hit on the line. That's legal, perfectly legal. That's fine. But this situation right here with Tommy Lee Lewis, dude, clean the man's clock. Like, if that isn't a pure example of how rigged the NFL is, bro. Like, I don't understand the hatred. I don't understand if that ref had his pockets lined. I expect him to get fired, bro.
It's not even
I expect he cost him money, though. He cost him. We'll see what these ratings. We'll see what these ratings looking like.
That's fine. I mean,
we'll see what these ratings look like, because
they're still not going to fire a ref for a bad call. Because I mean, if that's the case, a lot of refs will be out of a job.
It's not even about a bad call. It's about deliberately stopping somebody from throwing the flag. Yeah, the call was bad, but you're stopping somebody else from throwing the flag, so you can't even go through a review process. Like, he looked like he was took money. He looked like he took money.
I'm pretty sure that
I don't even need an X-Files drop for that.
I'm pretty sure that would question that guy.
Let's go to X-Files because they haven't gone there.
Did he say that he thought so he wouldn't review? Like, I'm pretty sure they got to investigate that that situation.
So why not? If he,
I'm not saying
I know, but this is where the investigation starts and ends with me. Why stop somebody from throwing the flag that you could pick back up if you thought the ball was tipped?
Right, and that's the question that we trying to.
On the weekly game we were talking about it because it was right after, right? And what they said was basically this cements a fan base over in LA.
Yes.
Automatically. And so because they've been trying to get LA right for a long time.
That comes at it. Dodgers went to once.
And like,
didn't they just win the motherfucker?
But why? But tell me, why would you sit your running back? So why would you sit your prize running back? Why would you sit your prize running back?
They're trying to say that he wasn't hurt, but.
Who we talking about?
Their coach came out. Their coach came out and said
they got CJ. They'll say they got a 1-2
I know. Their coach said
we
were saving him for the Super Bowl.
Nah.
You never say anything for the Super Bowl. You got
to get to it. Yeah.
I saw some commentation saying like no one believes that thing.
No, I don't believe what he was.
Because the game wasn't like a blowout.
But our run defense,
every single thing.
The first time we played them, they got no running yards, and I told everybody that the run game for them was not going to be a factor for them, man. It wasn't. That was not what was going to hurt us. Like, I told them that already.
No, the run was going to get stopped. I feel that.
We had the number one running defense until week fucking 16 or 17 when we took the week off. Like, we had the number one running defense all year.
Man.
All year.
I hear you about them, but what about Mahomes almost having the single greatest, like, true, like, he had a red shirt year. Let's just call his rookie year a red shirt year. So this is like his true, I'm starting from beginning to end. He almost took down all of the greats.
He's hard to try to predict how his career would go. Mm-hmm. I could see he's a risk taker and a gunslinger, but you've seen quarterbacks that are great like that get their weapons dismantled, right? Get their weapons dismantled, whether it's through trades or guys leaving or whatever, and now all of a sudden you're not as good. Yeah. But when you actually look at it, that's why I say you can't tell with him, because the way he throws, the awkward stuff he does, it's almost like
no look passes.
Man, it's like
across the body.
No,
yeah,
you're right.
You know, it's like he fools defenses himself when he throws the ball.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, shoot, just be in your spot.
Can I?
I mean, Tyreek Hill is one of the, if not the fastest wide receiver.
Did we not see the same thing? Did we not see the same thing? Did we not see the same thing early on with Russell Wilson in his career? He used to do those run across the field, throw across his body.
I keep thinking like Colin Kaepernick, man.
Nah, Kaepernick.
The only difference is because Colin Kaepernick.
Well, it's not about good.
No, but
we're talking about
they
the type
changed
of the play style.
I
would give it. I still wouldn't. I would say Russ.
The impact of 1 year when Jim Harbaugh changed his whole entire offense for Colin Kaepernick to be good. Colin Kaepernick showed up.
That's because Jim Harbaugh brought college a Wildcat. He brought, but he didn't go to Super Bowl. They were 11 and something because Alex Smith took him to like 11 and 2 or 3 before the man even got hurt. So like all that shit was big cap, man. Like Kaepernick really didn't do a lot, and I was really. I hate Kaepernick. I hate Kaepernick as a player. I'll tell you that right now, just because I thought his arm wasn't good.
No, so
I thought he could run for 175 yards. Every now and then dial one in. Every now and then dial one in to make you be like, okay, well, if he just learns to sit back in the pocket, like everybody can't learn to sit back in the pocket, man. Like
man, it's really hard to just sit back in the pocket.
Well, when you're used to running, when you're used to playing,
you used to have to do that in your high school all your life. You had to get around and scramble.
I commend Drew Brees. I commend Brady. All the pocket quarterbacks.
Brady back there posing.
Yeah. Because it's all about O-line. So if you know you don't
have a good O-line,
but if you know you don't have legs, you make sure
protect them.
You make sure you have.
Look at Leftwich when he broke his leg. He still didn't get touched.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, when they had to carry him down the field when he did that, they had to protect him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He could have easily got sacked with a broken leg.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you have a nice offensive line. You can sit there with a broken leg and still win a game.
Man, drop the intro.
Man, you already know what it is.
The intro hasn't dropped.
No, we never drop the intro, man. We always let it linger a little bit, man.
And let y'all join the conversation.
Welcome to Pert Podcast, man. We get in free, but you gotta be a G. Like a Newport Short, Louisiana Parish Jail. I ain't got no filter, man. Let's fucking go. So I ain't gonna.
What do we have on the topic list?
Man, that was really. I rant.
Because like I hear what you say.
Well, I also want to talk about fair weather fans of these Texans too, because I got something for their ass.
Okay, so what is it now?
The problem.
I know he waited. Everybody clowned on him. Now he's gonna come with a podcast.
I told you I was coming.
He was gonna take his own podcast.
I told you.
He's gonna wait till it just to respond.
No, because I'm tired of it, man. Like everybody, low expectations.
Get the close up on him. Let's both go at phones because we don't care.
Low expectations, man. Every year. And I don't care what nobody say. Y'all don't ever put money into the team, right? But it's like where as a group, collective group. But where does all this New Orleans hate comes from? Is what I really want to realize.
I don't have any hate.
No. Because
I would say there's more Cowboys hate from Houston than there's New Orleans hate from Houston.
Nah, man. Man.
You cannot stand the Cowboys.
Cannot stand the Cowboys. Because.
It's only because
it's a Texas rivalry.
Y'all won a Super Bowl recently, and because y'all won a Super Bowl recently, right? Mm-hmm. Now y'all have a little bit of shine to where when y'all succeed, and they're like, man, fuck that.
Yeah,
and like I
succeed.
No, man.
Succeed. Like I'm not a big Houston sports fan, period. But I was a Texans fan at one point in time. Uh-huh. The reason I stopped being a Texans fan because every time I was a Saints and like I posted on both. But every time it was like, try, and it started this whole Facebook splash, right? Because this negativity train is just take control of the world. But no, I left the Texans when y'all wouldn't get rid of Gary Kubiak and Matt Shaw. Like I decided to bust the fuck out. I said, if they keep them next year, I'm not a fan anymore. I'm not wasting my money. I was at Aaron Foster's breakout game when he ran for 230 against the Colts on opening day. I was at that game. I lost my voice at that game. I had my power tower, all of that stuff.
Wait, y'all call it a power tower?
That's what they call it, yeah.
Because y'all know.
Reliant Energy, though. I know.
No,
I got you with the Pittsburgh thing.
No, it all came from one place, and that was to help. No, it was to help the kids with different
So y'all's is a power tower too?
No, we call it the terrible tower.
Terrible tower, okay.
Myron Cope, he donated to the orphans and for the kids.
You know, we had Reliant. What was it before,
saying, man.
before that?
Like, I hate that everybody got a towel because that shit is kind of not cool. Like, we had the best towel.
It was another energy company. You know what I'm saying? It was like right before they merged and did some shit and became one. But it was something else before it was Reliant, though. I remember that. But anyway, like, that's pretty much...
But why is it Mercedes-Benz and then it's Power Tower?
No, ours is not Power Tower. They were talking Reliant. Reliant Energy, Power.
I don't
Power Tower. Games. Yeah, that's what that one is. Ours is just don't feel advantage. That's all we was just going, like, I've never seen ours called a Power Tower.
So Reliant, they do that.
Because in energy.
Man, y'all need, I know that y'all are young.
You don't get it.
No, I know that you're young in the game, but y'all need to come up with your own fucking, like, traditions.
Everybody got their own.
Nah, everybody.
Well, yes.
Everybody biting, man.
See, that's another thing as well, man. Like, you know, a lot of people slander the city of New Orleans, and they talk like, I'm not even from New Orleans, I'm from Baton Rouge, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And that's a big difference when people say, oh, you from Louisiana, you from New Orleans? Like, no, I'm from Baton Rouge, you know what I'm saying? Just the Saints fan. We don't have a football team there, you know, in Baton Rouge, motherfucker. We got we got LSU. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what's there?
So, yeah, that's definitely what's there.
That's
LSU
cool.
with Southern, you know, SU.
I heard there's good pizza there. You should bring me back some.
Louisiana? Nah, man, I don't know. Where? LSU? Oh, well, I don't know.
Well, on campus.
Maybe so. I never.
I
only been there.
I did a college tour with the high school. The school I worked at. And it was. I'm not going back. But yeah, that was fun.
Bro, I can't get no pizza.
But yeah, we went to the shower hall, whatever they call it.
So I was on Keys Road about the Texans, and I was just like, man, you know, some of y'all accept the low expectations of making the playoffs, and then y'all still pack out that stadium and fill it up. And the thing about them is oh yeah, we're Super Bowl playoffs, Super Bowl, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that. And the moment that they don't do that, they want everybody's head on a stick. That's what I don't like about. That's why I was going with my point. That's what I don't like about Houston fans. And Patrick knows that well because me and him actually talked and had that conversation before. Because that's something that they always do. Like, I didn't hear you slam your team when y'all lost, Trey. You were just like, hey, we were set up from the beginning, like, it's just too many pieces.
It was disappointing, but like, I got a tattoo. Once you got a tattooed on you, it's some other stuff. It's like, am I supposed to change? Am I supposed to change? See, that's the thing about Texans fans where I always just go, man.
That pisses me off, though.
Just because, like, they'll turn off the game or before it's over, and they'll just be like, man, fuck it, go Rockets. And it's like, I'm waiting to next year.
I'll watch my timeline gets fast. And I have Saints fans and Texans fans on my shit. And all my Saints fans like, all right, we'll get them next year. All right, cool. We were crying about getting fucked because that shit hurt. That shit, I'm not gonna lie, that shit hurt my heart for 2 days, man. I just got right today. Like, I was feeling the way. Like, when I told y'all pull up, come kiss these hands, whoever would have pulled up would have caught these hands, and I would have beat the shit out of them like I beat the shit out that damn referee, man. Like, I'm dead serious, man.
281, he hit me up, and he was over like, man, Pert like really about it today when it comes to this football.
Nah, man, I love football. That's my heart right there, man.
That's the great thing about sports, man. Like, to be honest with you,
I didn't spend $400 on fucking tickets. You know,
that's what is interesting about a game.
Just to be spending
like once I actually had to start buying my own tickets, and I realized how much they were. I was like, whoa, we don't need to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got a big screen.
Yeah, I mean the atmosphere, man. It was crazy. It was chaotic, dude.
I don't like crowds anymore.
I love the dome. Man. You do have to sneak liquor, nigga. They will charge the hell out of you in Reliant, and New Orleans wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad? What? Like, double a jack, $25. And it's me and my wife, so that's $50. Did that at Wildin' Out, then I turned around and introduced somebody and knocked their fucking cup out of her hand. They had to go buy another one. That was 3 minutes in. I'm 75 down.
That's no super.
Yeah. So what?
What, y'all still got things to take home?
Bro. Yeah, man. That was an expensive night. That was just Wildin' Out. That wasn't even the Texans game. That was just a regular night, bro. That wasn't even for the game. That's why I usually go there drunk and then try.
I like going when I went to the Cleveland Browns game, and I got my my rib from Killings. That shit was $40.
Yeah.
2 pounds.
Is it really?
Dude, it was like, dog. And you know, I was eating good. I was eating good. Yeah. So imagine eating good all week and then get 2 pounds of red meat.
Right.
Man, I've been over here.
Bro. 2 days, bro. It took me 2 days to get that out.
Take your time to digest all that, man.
Boy.
Yeah, man.
I have no regrets.
We're talking about
I have no regrets.
For the federal workers, they're getting
rations from
the killings and
that's messed up.
Yeah, I heard.
Do we need to talk about that? Do we?
It's whatever, man. Bring you there.
Right, let's talk about it.
I don't give a fuck about football no more, man. Fuck the Super Bowl. That's my whole thing. Fuck that. Fuck the Super Bowl. Fuck the Rams. Fuck the referees. Go Patriots. Fucking Tom Brady, you to go.
He gonna watch because he gonna barbecue.
I'm not. I'm actually gonna replay the Saints game. My homie pulled it up, and we're gonna replay the Saints from 09, and we're gonna have our own petty Super Bowl party.
Petty Super Bowl
He got the whole Saints movie on DVD.
Just a bend though.
I was actually thinking about.
If I watch this shit, I will poke my eyes.
No one. I mean, but at least you gonna watch the commercials. Everybody watches the Super Bowl commercials.
I don't care about none of that.
See, that's just the thing.
That's the best part about it. You get the new movie previews. You get all the new electronics and stuff. I mean, I don't remember none of the game, but I always remember the commercials.
I don't know if I watched any of that last year.
I'm telling you, like
there hasn't been really good commercials.
No, not even commercials. I'm talking the Super Bowl. I think I might have. My friends might have came over. I think we were outside drinking.
You always spend most of the time either cooking or
that's true.
You don't never be actually in anything to order. Like any of the fights, he be at the last round.
Have you switched over to New Balances yet? Because like once I put on the New Balances, until I take them off, it's just like going to the end.
Man. Yeah.
Just
it's tough hosting parties, man. That's another thing.
That's why I don't.
But if we were the one that game, we didn't get cheated, I would have a really big party, bro. Because I was like, that's what I told him. I said it depends on how this game goes right here.
I ain't gonna lie, like I was gonna hit him up. I was like, I hope he ain't throw nothing through the TV. I really wanted to go. I really wanted to go to his house and then just film his reaction on the last.
I was actually calm, to be honest with you, man. Like I didn't, I was calm. The homies that was over there was kind of like, man, they hold y'all, they cheated y'all.
Yeah, like
E-Man over there laughing because he's a Texas fan, and I'm always in his grill about. I'm always in his grill about that, and I'm just like, her son in there, like I told you the Rams good. I'm like, bro. You seen the end of the game. Don't even come at me with this bullshit. Like, I'm not trying to hear that. You didn't know shit. They actually didn't win. Yeah. But they did. Yeah. But whatever.
It was unpredictable.
Yeah, but I expected it to be a wire-to-wire game. I didn't expect us to blow anybody out. The first game was
Green Bay, New Orleans, like a high score.
Oh my God, that was a good game. That was actually a good-ass game, man.
That was pro. Y'all had pro.
Yes, man. Yes. We never won the
whole game.
We never won in Lambeau. Yes, that's my plan.
Man, I'm not watch the whole game.
I'm not the only one though. Like this is a whole movement that's going on.
I'm pretty sure.
No, there's a lot.
Think about the 600,000 people.
I'm pretty sure every Bourbon Street, every New Orleans.
They're thinking about doing the Saints parade during the Super Bowl.
No, there's a lot of people. I'm kind of curious if there's going to be a dent in the ratings because it's worldwide, so it's going to be kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's fine.
No matter what, but I really wonder between the Kaepernick shit. That shit, right?
There's already people not watching NFL.
People who are just like, man, I'm not.
A lot of people are done with this shit. Just imagine, not even cut you off. Just imagine you made a bet for 10K on the Saints, right?
I don't hear that shit. You don't have 10K. You ain't got a bet, so that's anybody.
But I'm just telling you, and these people came here and fluked you out like that. And let's say you got your money, even if you got your money back, like I would, from that point on, like I wouldn't even fuck with the NFL. I know bets are bad, money's money, but I wouldn't fuck with the NFL because I'm like, dude. Y'all fucking with my livelihood at this point. So, like I said, 600,000 people. 600,000 people is a lot of people, bro.
Fucking with livelihood, no.
And that's the
thing about gambling. That's the thing about the gambling.
I didn't even sign the petition because I thought that was a load of shit.
I don't think that's not gonna happen. But I also don't think that was the worst call in the NFL.
600,000 votes. They wanted to redo for the Rams game.
Yeah,
it's in the rule book and you can do it. But Roger Goodell's not gonna do that, especially when the referee
never.
When the referee
at that point, every game was going to be. You can't open Pandora's.
That's the worst call ever, bro. That's worse than this.
I don't say
worse,
ever.
I wouldn't say ever. That's worse.
I said that tuck rule, that Brady rule was the worst call.
That's worse than. There's
no worse call than that tuck rule.
It's worse than the tuck rule.
No, it's not.
A helmet to helmet. Shotgun blast a nigga, man. Couldn't even. At least they took.
Cam Newton get blasted all the time.
Did they not take because it was a scoring play? They got to take a look at that though, didn't they? So that's why I said it wasn't worse.
Ain't nobody scored on that play because that dude got wiped the fuck out. All right, so like, all right. I
say it was a horrible call. Don't get me wrong, because I told you straight up. I told you straight up that was messed up. I told you already. I was like, it was messed up. And I'm not.
Niggas out there want smoke, man.
I told you it was a messed up call. I told Pert.
Yeah, no, you did, bro.
I admit I'm not a Saints fan, but that hurt. Because I wanted to see Breeze and Brady. I admit that.
I think about it.
But I still don't think I would have just like Battle of the Bastards. But I still that would have been a live commercial too. But I still do not think that was the worst NFL call.
I think it was.
Man, I don't think it's the worst call.
In the playoffs, under 2 minutes to finalize the game.
Now, I think that was a big crucial call. But I'm saying I think that there was
you can always pick a call within those 60 minutes where you can say this shouldn't have happened. This shouldn't have happened. He's holding on every single play.
But I do, like I said, that was a Super Bowl play. You know what I mean? That's a call that determines whether the Super Bowl. I just don't think that call was as controversial in the world. I just don't think that the most controversial call had that much writing on it.
Yeah. Anyway it go, like I said, it's fuckery.
Even because I was a Raiders fan, and that took.
Can we talk about the true fuckery?
I'm gonna feel that way.
What's up?
Can we talk about the true fuckery? No, man. I ain't even want it. Nobody. Because there's a whole movie right now.
Well, he's cleared. He's on.
Well, there's so many things that are coming up right now that they're trying to throw and make stick because of the R. Kelly thing. Just because you decide not to talk about R. Kelly for decades doesn't mean that you got to bring up Jay-Z when he been married for a long time.
True. That's Nick Cannon, man.
Right.
True.
No, Nick did that stuff and he tried to get slick because he finally got Dame Dash in the room and somebody just wanted him to take a shot over at Jay. And like, you know what I can say? Even Dame Dash is a lot of motherfucking things, but he did not. I didn't watch
either, but I saw the clips.
No, I watched part of it, right?
I can't focus
just to see if he got set up or anything like that, and it was more like he just didn't want to talk about it, right?
All right, now I have to hear why. I have to hear why he just said that.
Wow, for Dame Dash. After the last two interviews, I think he's about as crazy as Kanye.
Which one?
The Breakfast Club interview.
He found Kanye.
A Breakfast Club interview, and then he did another one. I forgot where the hell he went, but it was more of the same of the Breakfast Club interview.
So what about it?
He just the shit that he was saying just wasn't resonating with me when he was talking about everybody can start a business, everybody can do this, everybody can do that. That's a fucking lie. That's like telling everybody that you're with Super Bowl, or yes, or you the next Jordan, or I mean, that's a lie. And that's like telling everybody they could be the president. That's a fucking lie.
Everybody can be a boss because if everyone's a boss, no one works for you. So how the boss make money if he don't?
See, that's the problem when people like everybody needs to start their own business. I'm like, okay, and then what? Are we just gonna buy and shuffle around this same $20 from you to him, to him, to him, to him, to him, supporting these businesses? Like, nah, nigga, some of us have to work and get out here and get this bread. You feel me? Like, it doesn't matter. There's not enough revenue in the fucking world except the 29 trillion that we're in debt.
Actually, the woman economy is based upon inner.
Maybe we had that 29 trillion spread out amongst us. We can do something in the U.S., but it wouldn't.
So, like, do you just hate his cocky demeanor?
It's just lies. It's lies. He's broken it. He's broken it.
This is the thing. But is it no? Let me ask you.
I it too much.
Right. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
What's the difference between Dame Dash, what he says, and these motivational speakers that tell you to believe that you can do this?
He's just another one.
Yeah.
Is it just this cocky, rude, that personality that you don't like? Because I hear what he's saying in a totally different way on a lot of these motivational speakers, but because they say it in a nicer, calm way.
It's all about the delivery.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking: is that your issue with them?
But they may have a plan on how you could turn something into nothing as well, though. So motivating someone and just talking out the side of your neck it's not the same thing to me, because A lot of times your managers are motivators.
That's why everybody knows I follow Gary Vee, man. But even though he doesn't have a size 16 for his shoe, I hope you hear that, man. Put out a fucking size 16 for your shoe so that somebody can support your ass. Hey, man, if you can go all the way up to 13, dude, you can figure out how K-Swiss can figure out how to get a 16. That's all I'm saying. Man, don't have a fucking, like, but whenever we have our branded shoes, like, my shit's gonna go up to the proper sizes.
28. Proper. Like everyone has 16s. Proper.
I think if you go from a 9 to an 18, you'll hit a lot. It'll be worth it, right?
So,
but anyway,
go ahead, get to your point.
So what I'm saying about the Gary Vee is that he doesn't really tell you. All he tells you is just save your money, put your money, always do something.
Nothing's wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with that.
But with Dame is just Harlem aggressive all the time.
Everybody didn't sell cocaine. Not saying Dame did, but everybody didn't sell drugs. As mixing. Yeah,
he just knew people who sold drugs.
I'm not saying whether Dame did or didn't, but Jay talked about it. So obviously he was in the circle. Pretty sure they did, but I can't confirm that. But everybody didn't have money that just came out of nowhere, because that's what happens with shit like that. That's what happens when hurricanes are coming down the East Coast, and the guy running for president at the time says, well, was there John Kerry, one of those stupid motherfuckers, talking about, well, just go to your summer house. Leave the East Coast and go to your other house.
Like everybody.
But mentally,
that's all he knows.
When he talked to his friends, that's
all he knows. So he feels like everybody has it.
Got a summer house. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. So when you talk about
crazy,
that narrow
ain't that crazy? That's facts. That's almost cold. Yeah,
that's just out of touch.
Yeah, man. But that's when
it's like right
you
now,
get money out of your life, you out of touch too, because everybody can't fucking start out. Niggas trying to pay these rent, pay these bills, his child support due.
So I guess it's like when he started going on, like, how you call another man boss, or how you do this?
He's doing where he starts saying the same thing over and over again. Just like with Culture Vulture, it started to stick, so everybody.
That's why I don't like him, man. Like I listen to
like, what the fuck, dude?
It was entertaining. It was entertaining.
It wasn't as entertaining as Drake. I actually had to go back just because of all of the memes. I had to go back and figure out what the hell.
I haven't, but I mean, you can tell by everyone's reaction to it and all the different.
The one who lost his son, and I was like, I didn't realize that he really went into.
Tell you how the cloud works. He got 12 million. Yeah. I went to go look at his video he put out like a day ago. It was at 4 or 5 million when I looked at it. Like,
after that interview, when you go on YouTube's homepage, just the suggested videos, it's all his old stuff. Whether it's his old interviews, whether it's his old videos.
He got locked in.
So, I mean, all he did.
Dance and never let it go.
Yeah. I know.
And so this interview, all he did was ramp up all the views.
And if he really does have that.
Can I talk about a real thing? I know I've been trying to bring
one thing. If he has that dance copywritten, that little dude's a genius. And I know Chris Whitey, Chris Whitey was, I think Chris, the dude that passed away. I think it's Chris Whitty or Chris Whitey, whoever that guy. If he really told him to copyright that shit, because $2 million getting robbed right now. Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
I just want to send a shout out to all those people who are not getting checks.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Because let me just tell you, man. Like me and D were over talking about. We're always talking about money making moves over at APR.
Yes,
and so like we were just thinking about it. And it's just like, man, real talk, man. If I had to go, I once had to go a whole month without a check, just doing like a contract. And didn't know shit about the contract and didn't know that it was going to be a month before I got paid for the first time. And let me just tell you, man, that was a long fucking month. So like, shout out, and everybody who over here giving you shame for going and get those freebies, man. If it's close by, go get them freebies, man. If you're over here like spending all your gas.
Hey, when we had Harvey, how many people got freebies? Oh, everybody. How many people had Katrina freebies when we wasn't even in New Orleans? We be hearing people from Houston was trying to get us government here. You know what I'm saying? Well, we had
what I'm saying.
So it's like, man, when you need help, you need help, bro. And it's like, you know, as a teacher, you know, man, as a teacher, you feel it's like, Like we know, everybody got something to say, but you missed that one paycheck.
You know the Coast
Guard. It's okay to criticize somebody when you know your paycheck guaranteed. Well, but miss that one when you expecting it.
Oh yeah.
Not that one where that's the extra one. That should be okay. Miss the one when you expect it.
When you weren't watching the news and you had no idea, you weren't watching the news, you weren't checking that email, you weren't looking at all that stuff, and did not realize that you were about to miss a check.
Yeah, because you work for the federal government for the security.
But rent coming due, bro.
Like working for the government, no one would ever expect I'm not going to get paid because I work for the government.
So someone put out something saying that if you, and there's maybe information that people may need, but if you have a mortgage, you can go and basically ask them to lay off the payments until
the shutdown.
Until you get that.
So
basically, they could drop the
feel like anybody who works for the federal government.
But you know who's not gonna do that though? That's right if you can do that with a mortgage. That's great.
Landlords.
Which private
rent.
No.
Right?
No, give me my money.
So power.
Because let's be honest, they need their money. They need their money.
Cell phone company, right?
I'm trying to.
Your car note might work with you because they did with Ike and the hurricanes.
But if you're not a government employee, then you can't get those benefits. So, like, let's just say you're the landlord for a government employee,
right?
And you're like,
that's what money's funny. And they were talking about a lot of the businesses that their biggest clients are.
It's the ripple right now.
It was about the companies that their biggest clients are federal employees, like maybe like the food right around the buildings or the daycares or all that stuff. So when you take all of those 800,000 people out of that's $800,000 people that money is supporting.
Can I go
small business? So that ripple effect is going to be crazy. Not to mention,
I ain't even thinking about it. I didn't go too deep. I'm not in that.
If you was pushing drugs right now, it's the best time.
All right, real talk. X-Files. Let's go back. So after watching Punisher 1 and Punisher...
I need to stop Punisher.
It wasn't Punisher 1. What was the latest one? The Daredevil, where, like, dude was over here... They were talking about Daredevil. It's been out, so there's no spoiler.
No, I just haven't watched it.
But what they were over saying was that the guy in the FBI, right, they wouldn't promote him because he had bad credit because he covered some expenses for family, right?
Had to happen.
Somebody...
Go ahead.
But somebody had to take the hit. He took the hit, right?
Yep.
And because his credit was bad, they couldn't promote him. Yeah. He couldn't get a raise.
Because
like
you can be bribed and
you can be bribed and whatnot.
They literally just said that. Yeah, I was about to say
right now.
I was before I came. They showed the interview of the FBI dude, whoever the guy is, and he was on there. He was like, part of our security clearance is making sure that they have financial credit and good financial stability. Because if you're on a job, and you're dealing with high-profile cases, you could be persuaded based on that financial burden that you have, and that's why they don't want anybody. That's why when you get to a certain level of FBI agent, you got to be on point. They're not getting just everybody who.
So why are we doing this? So that we got to clear out all the ranks.
Man.
So we got to.
I really want to know that end game because I mean, like a lot of course, most of the people are like, hey, he's desperate. He got to have this wall because his name is depending on his business, his business clout.
Yeah, dude.
Man, what?
And the rerun.
But think about it. Forget the presidency. Yeah, it's about what you're gonna do when you get out of it.
I got you.
And so, who's gonna ever trust the Trump name anymore if you do not give
so the State of
because that is the only reason why.
State of Union is counting down like the season ending of a
and they still didn't approve him to do it. So I want to see if he's really gonna do it.
So what can he say?
This is all the build up for the rerun, man.
Just
watch
whether he gets
the wall and he does or he doesn't get the wall.
This is the time where I really wish that we could
guys about to start campaigning again. Like he never stopped. Yeah. He's gonna start campaigning again. Whether he gets the wall, he doesn't get the wall, he's gonna use this as his building block.
I can see how him not getting the wall
helps him
if he's running again. What is going to still depend on that is this February 7th when they put Cohen.
So why do they keep on giving them DACA?
Even though Cohen now,
why do they keep on giving them DACA money in like these concessions, these concession proposals that they're doing? It's always they're trying to get back the money.
Well, they just want the wall
and whatnot. But did you hear that they're cutting off that Mexico has cut off official relations and all the ambassadors are now now need to leave.
The new Venezuela, didn't he just cut stuff like that?
Well, he acknowledged someone as a Venezuelan. I didn't know about the Mexican thing.
Was it Venezuela?
No, Mike Pence did something with Venezuela.
Yeah,
so they
acknowledged someone as the...
but the real problem...
not fucking with y'all. Didn't they just get a new president, though, right?
Yeah.
That's what somebody
said. It was acknowledgement.
But you know, they haven't been fucking with the Russians anyway. Yeah, so that's right there, bro. Like, it's deeper than what it is. That's why I don't understand.
Deeper than rap.
It's way deeper. It's way deeper than that shit.
Man, the Fire Festival.
Man.
Did y'all watch it?
I didn't.
I haven't watched it yet.
I didn't.
I haven't watched it yet. Yo, somebody comment about this shit over in our
all
shit.
time.
Wow. Is it really good? Did you watch the Hulu and the Netflix one?
I did see the thing you shared with the catering people.
You can have my Hulu. We'll watch it. We should, all right.
Yeah.
Hit us on the comments. See if we should do like a live. See if we should do like a live
reaction video
of the fire. Because I think there's so much. Like, you know me, Ocean's 11 is my shit. So
you think someone's behind that fire? Some people got paid off no matter what.
Somebody still watched that. It was all a mirage. So
I was like, you just to breakfast. I don't know if anybody caught it this morning when they showed when they were talking about the clip of fire. When they told the dude, it was like, hey, they got like 175. Evian water bottles, and they can't get it through customs. So we need you to go take one for the team and go
bring it.
Yeah, but he had to go do what he had to do. He had to go suck some cock to go get the water. And dude says, so I find myself at my house taking a shower, getting mouthwash, because I'm going to take one for the team.
No, man.
Now, I didn't see past that part to see if he actually did it.
You know, that's what happens.
No. They ordered that for the party.
No, but I hung out. I hung out with a lot of people.
Come through because they didn't have running water on this island. So they like this.
No, because it was literally like on a sandbar type of island out in the Bahamas.
Who was that? Who's older? Was it Escobar's old?
It was Pablo Escobar's island. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that we should like really just think about doing a reaction video because, like, you know, I like a good structured capital movement, and I know that we can try to figure out
shit though. We ain't gonna have no issue. Nah, man, we got it's all internal.
We said we're gonna bring all the food ourselves.
All internal, man.
Shout out to Texas T, always talking about vegan stuff. Yeah, you know, I'm not, man. Like, real talk, all this getting healthy shit. Here's the drawback about it. I never thought that I would not be gaining weight anymore. Like, I lose weight now that I eat a certain way. Yeah. And it's like right now I'm over here trying to eat more so that I can kind of level out for a little bit. Like, you take a break. And it's like, no, I'm still... I know that's something weird, but like as a fat man who has been well over 300 pounds, this is like a new thing where I'm like, what the fuck, man? I put on my Sugar Daddy t-shirt and I was like, oh, I don't have those things in it.
Yeah, man. It's definitely great to lose weight. Sometimes you, well, it is. And sometimes you want to plateau out at a certain weight. I know it got like that at one point when I was working out like 6 days a week.
So should I just pass it up? Because I went to Taco Cabana and got in like some catatonic
state. I got down to like 190 something, which was super lean. When I go back and look at the pictures, I'm like, even at the time, I still wasn't even happy with that because it was like I wanted to still have the bulkiness, but it's like so
how do you?
So you got to come down to come up.
That makes any sense.
Yeah, it's like a Texas song.
Man, I've been trying to figure out
coming up.
Man, speaking of, man, why isn't there any good Texas music right now?
But you know what I'm talking about.
Man, Texas hip hop. Can y'all hit us up? Because like I don't know any good. No, man, because I know it's that guy from the SWAT, right?
Toby, I was just jamming.
It was Toby.
Toby's probably.
He's on iTunes right now. I didn't even realize.
He got his own Pandora.
You know, I hate about that. I know I hate about
all his albums. Well, a lot of his albums.
Man, shout out to Toby, man.
You know, I hate about not about Toby, but I hate about the era that Toby came up in is the fact that you know he's overshadowed by bullshit.
Yes,
and it's because of the era that he's in. And if somebody like Toby came out, in the 90s or the 2000s when lyrics were actually praised and popular.
We just need to start showcasing our shit.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm not saying he doesn't have a lane.
Talent, man.
But Toby to me, he's gonna have.
No, but they're not doing it live. I want it over at like a venue. There's no place to actually spit.
He sold out. He sold out his own shows, and yes. You can't do that.
Yeah, because what's the name? Wicked did his showcase.
Yeah, you can.
So you got several spots around here that does like showcases. We just got to find one.
I wanted to go to Toby. I wanted to go to Toby's showcase when he did it. But it was my son's birthday that day. That was when I.
No, but I'm talking about like those rap showcases where people would come in and they.
Oh yeah, but man, those nobody ever came to those though, because Houston does. Houston. Man,
no, I'm saying what I remember.
You really want me to go there?
No, but what I was
okay. I still.
What I was referring to was one. How back in the gap when they used to have artists that to bring the people to the thing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I'm talking about one of those, and that just shows that new talent on the streets right now.
The problem is they always want to do it on Wednesdays and Thursdays, so it's like nobody's coming out there because nobody wants you to do. Let me get into this shit
because that's money though. But that's money though.
Yeah,
like, you can't get a prime.
Yeah, but that's great, but. When you think about the tunnel, right, or you think about like New York hip hop when it was really underground, and nobody really does that shit out there anymore because kids are blowing up on the internet now. But before the net was even popular, when Houston used to have those events, they went from having those free night events to being like, all right, well it's gonna be $15 a song because the free thing was, all right, I'm gonna get this club crunk on a Wednesday or Thursday. Nobody's in here, so go ahead and pull up. You're getting something at the door. Yeah. Except the bar, we're buying drinks all night. Everybody's waiting to perform. Yeah. Every person gets 15 minutes, et cetera, et cetera. Then they get to a point where it's like, all right, we'll do a cash prize where everybody will free to get in if you're a performer, but then your money goes to the pot for the cash prize. So
that's the difference between like the
let me get to the
go.
This is where it failed at. This is why that shit doesn't work anymore, Trey. Then we get to the point where we're paying 15 now. Great. Then it gets to this point where, all right, well, I need you to sell these tickets because we're going to bring in these performers and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. So now you're paying to perform, but not really. Yes, like the after shit, like you're not really paying to perform, but your man sold 25 tickets. This guy sold 25. You sold 25. It's 200 people in here. But when I'm on stage, only my 25 people and maybe 8 other ears are listening. You know what I'm saying? It depends on your time slot. If you had to go on early when nobody was there because everybody comes in late, like what time did y'all come on? Depending on how many tickets you sold, you got to go on a little bit later.
And be like, I already went.
Yeah, so like basically they started doing this pay to perform. Then they said, fuck the tickets. Just give me 200, 250, I'll let you open up. I'll let you be one of the 8 niggas to open up for currency.
A&R who works for such and such.
See that shit too, but not even saying open up for currency is bad, but open up number 1, like you're the first one on that list at 8 o'clock, nigga. Yeah, you just wasted your money. So the second nigga, third nigga, the fourth nigga, the fifth nigga, sixth nigga, seventh nigga, even the fucking 8 nigga to go on before him, you still wasted your money because nobody really came to see you, man. The people can't see currency.
Nobody can hear you. Because the sound is never ever checked.
So for you. We watch these promoters.
Oh, you watch the sound.
We watch these promoters, and RP Ricky Cricket, man, because that was my guy. But we watch these promoters water something down because Ricky Cricket had a bunch of nights where it was just like I said, it was free, and then at Rhythms with the cash prize, I didn't really care because like your crowd, the crowd we didn't have no fucking body status judges. You bring the crowd, and not only your crowd but the whole crowd would judge it at the end of it. And see, believe it or not, but well, listen to me, but dog, first place. I was unstoppable. The first 6 weeks I was up there, I was unstoppable. I placed every time, no cap, because everybody else came up in there. This is when people still appreciated people being original. Everybody came in there making copycat music, doing a little flip flow, candy bar, my candy blow, candy butter, my candy dough. Like boom. There's another dude, I forgot his name, man, but he used to sound like Big Pokey. But he could spit though. So it used to be me, him, this other cat that they had a little crew out in Mo City. I forgot those cats' names, but it was really just us rotating that 1, 2, 3 for a while because we were the only ones coming in there rapping like ourselves. Like, and people appreciated that. And like my music, like I say, like when I can make music, I like to make it just, it was real deep shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't.
It's the total opposite with the open mic stuff. Because like with the open mic, if you were all original, everybody wants to hear the cover.
Yeah,
So it's like the money prizes and this whole thing. They do the same thing on the singer-songwriter circuit. Like the only difference is that you got a whole bunch of gear.
I just appreciate original music, man. As an artist, I guess
there is no place for original music.
I know how much goes into that though. So
who's really like, man, I'm trying to go out and listen to some new music. It's a very select crew.
That's my whole point of why I don't think another underground thing would actually work. And that's why artists like Toby, going back to that, or get stuck into a box like a Big Crit, where his fan base will be loyal. He'll have a great fan base for the rest of his life.
He'll tour for the rest of his life.
He'll have a great fan base too, because I'm a fan. And I love his music, you know, very spiritual. It's dope. Reason I'm a Big Crit fan, same thing. Very spiritual, dope music. But I never see them being a Cole, Kendrick pedestal because of the content, number one. And then the city's inability to cross him over. Now, if he left Houston and went somewhere else and blew the fuck up, then Houston would claim him. They would love him. He would come here. He would sell out Toyota.
Travis Scott.
He would sell out Toyota.
And then everybody.
Travis Scott.
No, Louisiana loves Louisiana.
Man, real talk. Travis Scott.
Yeah. Houston, but see, this is why Houston. Back to the fair weather shit. It's not just sports, bro. It's music too. Y'all do the same thing when it comes to music. It's a big ass fucking city, man. Fourth largest city in the world.
Man, whatever.
Like
Travis Scott, you should not be performing over at the Super Bowl. And
I don't give a fuck about that.
Big boy should not be.
Man, make your money.
I told y'all I would go do Trump.
Somebody gotta get
It's not about making your money. Wait. It's not about making your money. Because
which way?
Because you actually pay the money.
You wear a MAGA hat?
You pay the money to perform at the Super Bowl, and that's the thing is that you're paying for the audience.
Nah, you don't pay that.
And it's like there is. That's the big thing about it is that it came out not too long ago why people started turning it down, and it was because the high price people did not want to pay for the publicity that you get from the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't do that.
And so that's the reason why. That's the reason why Prince. It did his the way he did it, because all that money got donated over to something local or something like that.
Okay.
But it was like, that's the actual trick, is that they make you pay to perform. And so my whole thing is like, Travis, man, that's not your platform, man. You can make all that money off of your own shit. Your own shit.
I mean, he's a big enough.
You got Drake on multiple tracks.
I just don't see what all he's gonna do. But I'm not a big Travis Scott fan. I got the album.
He's gonna do Sicko Mode.
Listen to it 3 times.
He's gonna do the Sicko Mode art. That's
halftime, man. It's usually like a nice little set. JT did like 20 goddamn songs, man.
Man, I hated that one too.
But look, JT just came to where last night? Toyota Center.
No, did he?
That was like a jam.
Blew up his. Because think about that. That's a year later. This man wasn't touring. This man wasn't doing shit that we knew of. Now he back to the bag. So yeah, what you're saying could be true. You could pay for it. I don't think Travis Scott needs to pay for any type of publicity or need that type of publicity.
I'm just saying,
I don't
get
think
it on your own.
would have paid for the Super Bowl. I don't think that's true. That can't be 100% true. Now whether they're paying you an MC.
Put the comments in below, man.
Yeah, put it down there. Let me know. That's screw me.
Because I want some comments like how Joby over here is shouting out every motherfucker for like 15 minutes, man.
That's because they be on Twitter though. Yeah, there's a lot of the comments they read are really on the timeline on Twitter.
Man, I can't go on Twitter.
That's what he's talking about. Then, like, we got to start tweeting, man, and like that's where a lot of the action happens. I
thought we were on.
Matter of fact, I saw. Well, we're on Instagram, Twitter, we're on everything, but Instagram is just visual, like to talk to people, random people. A lot of that stuff comes from Twitter.
Fair enough.
And Twitter is a good source for media as well, because I saw one of the comedians from
Hard Head 61.
One of the comedians that started.
I gotta go look over at those highlights.
61
points. That's like he's a writer,
rebounds.
Comedian. What's Real? One of the creators of Real.
Real.
The TV show Real. Yeah, he's like 32. He passed away last night. I saw that on Twitter last night. I forgot the comedian's name though. I've seen I've seen him stuff before, but I can't think of his name last night. But he passed away last night. But that's what Twitter is like real time. Like, so that's why when Joe's like, oh, when I went to the timeline and scroll down the timeline, like he's actually going to Twitter to look at stuff. But that's when you get people to look at your stuff. I don't know. I don't know.
There's a lot of people who watch us, and y'all need to start acting.
We need to get him into engage more, and we will, man, going forward. We'll like I told the D, we have a plan to roll out a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, Kevin Barnett. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he passed away last night. Yesterday, at least. Who knows how?
All right, man. R.I.P., dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's never good. But you know, I was on there just in my feelings, looking at Michael Thomas, see what he had to say next, because he had the Joe Horn pick. Like, Roger, pick up the phone. Like, oh man. So yeah, man. Just looking for the new news.
Give me the new season. Hey, Brady, if you win it one more time, walk away before the testing gets better.
Yeah, I think he needs to get out of here anyway. If he wins the Super Bowl, I'm actually pulling for him to win just to get the 6. And I know everybody else doesn't want him to win. I actually don't. I want to have 6 or 7, right? 6.
No, we are not giving him the affinity.
Take the 6 so he can get out of there.
No, man.
I know you just don't want to catch up with your little Pittsburgh number, but that man's the GOAT, bro. You know, and I love and like
it's just because they cheated a couple of times against my team. Spygate was against my team, right? Spygate was against my team.
We talked about this before, Trey. Spygate was against your team, man.
Just saying.
But we had Bounty Gate New Orleans.
Man, fuck Brady.
But I think every game is Bounty Gate complete.
I'm gonna go have Tyler Gate in a minute.
Yeah, real talk. But now we're about to wrap. But the reason why I'm like, man, just get a man the championship, man, is so we can actually see some different people in there from now on. He can get the hell out of here. And although I think Drew Brees, record-wise, number-wise, is the best quarterback to play offensively, the full package of the game, man, Belichick, Brady, Michael Jordan, Kobe, Phil Jackson category. Because shake your head, whatever. Phil won, 6 of Mike, 5 of Kobe. Like, greatest coach ever, greatest players ever. But the thing about it is,
go Steelers.
I have a feeling that when Brady leaves, Belichick will still be there because they think he's going to retire too. But I'm like, why would he retire? He's still at the top of his game.
It depends on who they got.
I think he could. He can make another. He can make.
No, depends on who they're going to get.
Yeah, he can make who they're going to get. Because remember, he had quarterbacks that were looking pretty decent when either in the preseason or when Brady got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Texans picked up one of those quarterbacks. He came here and he was straight doo-doo. But in that system over there for Brady, he looked it pretty good. Like, that's the reason why they paid him all that money and pulled him over here, because they thought he was actually going to be good.
Man, I'm just so tired.
But you know what I'm talking about, the bust. It was like a couple years ago. One year I bust. It was 1 year he had like 4 quarters. Well, that's like every year, but...
No, it was the...
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he was from the Browns. He ended up going to the Browns or something.
No, that was from the Browns.
No, he was
big,
from
tall,
Denver.
Big, tall white boy,
He was from Denver.
You know what I'm talking about, man.
Osweiler.
It might have been him.
No.
Osweiler?
I think it was Osweiler.
Was it Osweiler? No.
I don't know. That's
Mallet.
how much.
Ryan Mallet.
No,
Mallet.
Ryan
drunk.
Belichick?
Ryan Mallet was drunk and he didn't show up.
That nigga ain't want to get on the plane.
Yes.
Mallet.
Yes, Ryan Mallet.
That's when you had like 4 quarterbacks. That's what I'm saying. You can't keep up.
But I mean, Ryan had that cannon. But that's the...
You think you go back to O-line?
Huh?
You think you go back to not having O-line? Because
I think that year that Mallet was there, we had a whole bunch of problems.
There was always a whole bunch of problems. It's really hard.
No, I'm just saying, like, that 1 year.
Why do you think I'm so mad?
I can see if Mallet was now.
Why do you think I'm so mad about us not getting back to the fucking championship game, dog? Like, it's so fucking hard. Think about this, and I'm gonna end this shit on the rant again, because think about last year, Minnesota. Dude, that play. How do you think I felt on that play? I took my phone and I booted my phone. It's raining. I booted my fucking phone all around the house till I broke it. Like, because that play was harder to watch. This play was just disgusting me. So after having this dagger in my heart last year, to turn around and get stabbed in the heart by the referees this year, that shit hurt.
We need to have a sit down, man.
Yeah, we do. We need to talk about it, man.
So, Pert needs to unpack a lot of
Pat will see.
It's one of those things where
I think he needs to release his.
I need to punch something, man.
It's one of those things where
we'll see.
football is really
I'm closing out for everyone. Fuck that, Trey. We'll talk about this off camera, man.
Afterwards.
I don't want people to fucking see me crying, man.
I know he's gonna cry.
You know, it's tough, man.
He gonna cry.
Yo, Trey, go.
He gonna cry in the Colorado.
The Super Bowl. Drew Brees. I saw y'all fucking.
Hey, he gonna be air punching like Trey on Boys in the Hood.
Hey man, Pert Podcast episode
man, put that at the end.
13, man.
When he air swinging.
Number 13, man. We out.
3. Is it 13?
It is 13. We did 12 last week, man. That's why it was 13. That's why we lost, because 13 is a bad number.
No, 13 is actually a good number.
They wanted me to come in here sad.
They.
Y'all, the universe. When I say they, I mean the universe.
All right.
Yeah, man. Nah, that shit's mad wild though, bro.
No, I think
that's why. So that was the reason why.
I think that camera overheated.
Yeah, it probably did, but that was a long time before it overheated.
But I think that you'll get some more. I say crop it in more.
That's fine. I'll
crop?
Yeah, I play with it.
And so crop it in, and then you go.
My problem is always that damn iPhone video, bro. That's why I really wish.
Yeah, I went the whole time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Planet Pert Podcast. Shout outs, dude. This is a always press record production.